we are trying out 3 different kinds of buttercream. Swiss meringue buttercream, Italian meringue buttercream, and of course, my American buttercream. Welcome back to CHALEESE Bakes Cakes. You all know I love American buttercream. ABC buttercream is my go-to. I love it, I always will. But I have a huge sweet tooth. So, of course I'm gonna go for the sweetest buttercream. And it's the easiest to make, so there's that. Okay, but I wanted to try out a few different buttercreams because I've heard that they're so yummy and they're not as sweet. So we are gonna try Italian meringue buttercream and Swiss meringue buttercream. I'll also give you my American buttercream recipe. The first buttercream we are making is Italian meringue buttercream. We need 4 egg whites and they need to be room temperature. So make sure they're nice and room temperature. To make it easier to get your egg whites to room temperature, if you don't have all day to wait, put them in warm water and let them sit in there for just a few minutes, and voila, you have room temperature egg whites. And make sure you crack your egg whites in a separate bowl. Don't just crack them right into the bowl that you're going to be making your meringue in, because you could get yolk in there or you could get some eggshells, and we don't want that in our meringue. So make sure you crack your eggs in a separate bowl so you have your 4 egg whites. And then the tricky thing with meringue is you really need a clean bowl. Make sure that you cleaned your mixer so well. You can also get a little bit of vinegar and wipe out the bowl. And you can also wipe off the beater with the vinegar as well, and the paddle attachment. Just everything that it's gonna touch, wipe it down with a little bit of vinegar. Now we're gonna dump our 4 egg whites, room temperature, right into my mixer here. Then we're gonna add a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. We're gonna add a 1/4 teaspoon of cream of tartar. And then we are going to add our 1/3 cup of sugar nice and slowly to our meringue. So just keep your mixer going after you add the 1/3 cup of sugar into your egg whites, and just keep it mixing kind of on medium speed. Next, we're gonna get a saucepan and we are gonna put 1/3 cup of water in the saucepan and a cup of sugar. We are going to start stirring this and just keep on stirring. You just keep it on medium heat and just stir up this sugar water. And we're just gonna keep on stirring. It's gonna come to a boil. You also wanna have a thermometer because we're gonna get the temperature of the sugar water up to 235 or 240, and that's when we know it's ready to be added into our egg whites. If you don't have a thermometer, just watch those bubbles. They'll kind of get bigger, and you can dump a little bit into a cup of cold water, and if it makes a ball, then you know that your sugar water is ready to add to your meringue. Meanwhile, you can just keep your eggs over there, just kind of mixing up so it's kind of a soft peak stage. Okay, our sugar water is to temperature 235. So now we're gonna pick it up, be very careful because it gets hot, and we're gonna just slowly pour this sugar water into our meringue. Keep your meringue mixing. Don't turn off your mixer. Keep your meringue mixing and slowly add in this sugar water. After we've added our sugar water, now we're just gonna turn up this mixer to almost high, probably medium high, and we're just gonna let it mix, you guys. Just let it go. Don't touch it, just let this meringue come together. Also, you want it to mix until the outside of your mixer is cool to the touch. You don't wanna put your butter in too soon or else it's gonna be soupy. So make sure, this does take a while. It was like forever. I sat here and waited for the bowl to get cool forever. So it does take a while, so have some patience with this part, just let it mix. I had frozen strawberries, and so I just kind of stuck them on the side, so it kind of sped up that, cooling down of the meringue. While your meringue is mixing up and starting to cool down, you need to get your butter ready. So I have 2 cups of butter, and I've just sliced them up into cubes. Make sure it's room temperature butter, and we are going to put this into our meringue as soon as the side of the bowl gets cool. All right, now that the bowl is cooler to the touch, I would wait longer than you think. That's my tip, longer than you think. Once your meringue comes to temperature, switch off the whisk to the paddle attachment. Now we're just gonna add the butter one at a time here to our meringue mixture, and it kind of gets into a weird separating. I was like, whoa, what's happening? Just keep on mixing that and it's gonna come together beautifully. After it's mixed and come together, you can add a teaspoon of vanilla. You can put any other flavoring that you like, but today we're just trying out vanilla. Now just mix that right up, and there we have it. Some glossy, silky, beautiful Italian meringue buttercream. If you do make the mistake, which many have, including me, of putting the butter in too soon when the meringue was still hot and it kind of turns soupy, It's not a problem, guys. Just set it in the fridge for like 20 minutes and it will come back together and you'll be able to mix it right up.